You know, 2023 was a pretty weird year for me, especially at the ending, having a lot of shit happening at the same time in my life. But at the same time where I was going absolutely crazy, I decided to dedicate myself a little bit more into listening to music, and giving a chance to genres and artists that I didn't, and just expanding more my catalog of music in general. And that's when I found some of my favorite albums, artists, and songs of all time, at least right now. And you know, since now I decided to talk about whatever the hell I want on this channel, let's talk about some of these artists and albums that I listen to, and that I think you guys may find very interesting. Let's talk about an album that, when released, was really ahead of its time, combining elements of heavy genres with atmospherical music, creating a really weird sound different from anything I ever saw before, or I ever heard before. Let's talk about the genius of Around the Fur and Deftones. Hello, it's me again. Oh my god, bro, talking about cringe TikTok music. Shut the fuck up, shut up. Despite the stereotype that only smelly alternative teenagers listen to Deftones, which isn't that far from the truth, that doesn't say anything about the quality of their music. I still didn't listen to their entire discography, but I listened to 6 out of 9 albums, so I can say that I'm very familiarized with their sounds and evolution overall. So if you ever heard their name but never decided to give them a shot, or if you're just interested in experimental and different music and stuff, continue watching this video, I think you'll enjoy it. So now, I'll talk exclusively about Around the Fur, since I feel like it's one of their most iconic albums. But before, make sure to leave a like, a comment, and check the other videos I posted on my channel if you like this one, since you probably enjoy them too. And if you like my channel as a whole, consider subscribing. No, seriously, don't just ignore this as a generic YouTuber warning. I'm a beginner channel, and every little kind of help you can give me really makes a difference. Also, if you already watch my channel regularly, please give this video a try, because I'm trying some new formats and I would really appreciate your feedback. So now, let's do this. You know, what truly differentiates Deftones from any other music group or artist is the way they create a very curious atmosphere. Taking for example a song that means a lot to me emotionally, Mascara. For some reason, a lot of Deftones fans look to this song as one of their weakest, which is something that I couldn't disagree more really, since this song has an atmosphere that can be interpreted in a lot of ways. You of course can listen to this with a superficial look of being an edgy and dark song about some weird fucked up romance, but that's not really how you should view it. Mascara is what I like to call a cinematic track, that combining its dark but at the same time strangely comfortable guitar work and the bass that complements it in a very important way, with the very close whispering plus the mysterious and uncomfortably open lyrics and the very simple but effective drums, some atmospherical elements with the guitar noises and maybe even electronic synths, and it creates a very personal yet very distant and open to interpretation, dark and absolutely amazing track. Some people just look at all of this in a kind of horny way, I guess, which, I mean, makes at least a little bit of sense. And depending on your mood when you listen to this, things can get a pretty different turn. But actually, analyzing it all, mainly the lyrics that I gotta say are fucking phenomenal, you can get a pretty interesting interpretation. I feel soon I will sink into you. What do you think? Cause there's still blood in your hair. Got the bruise of the year. It's almost as the narrator sings about the relationship extremely toxic, and maybe he even narrates his songs after a fight or something, since the line, "There's still blood in your hair and I got the bruise of the year," kinda imply that. But at the same time, he just can't get over it and end this, cause despite all his problem, he's just unable to not love the other person. I feel soon I will sink it to you, what do you think? Sounding almost as he's directly asking to the other person that despite everything that happened, things can still calm down and relax. Another track that lyrically and musically feel like a way more intense version of Mascara is Die the Flu. That is fantastic too. To be honest, I still like Mascara over Die the Flu, but Die the Flu is also one of my favorite songs by them. The song has a way more vastic structure, has a multiple different sections, some are soft, and despite not being really fast, feeling really fast. I'm talking about the verse mainly, that has once again that very close and low whisper singing, and the amazing bass line that feel like it just passes by, almost like you are at a moving car looking through the window, and the rest you just have to experience by yourself. Now talking about cars, I guess, I think an interesting song to talk about is Be Quiet and Drive, that is one of their most famous songs, but not randomly, since it's a pretty great track. Now I will gently ask you to completely ignore the existence of its music video, since it's not exactly good. But okay, about the music, it's another story. The song is a little nostalgic to me, since it was one of the first songs I ever heard by them, and before even getting more deep into their music, I already listened to it quite a lot. And I mean, just listen to this. You know what I said before about their sound being almost like you are at a moving car looking through the window? Now, this here is even bigger, since the instruments feel like there is always something going on on constant movement, just like a car in movement. And I mean, this is pretty literal, since the lyrics seems to be talking exactly about that. This town don't feel mine, I'm fast to get away, far. Now drive me far away, I don't care where, just far. I like to view this song as a narrator getting to a taxi after something really bad happened in his life. And just saying to the driver to get him anywhere, I think you can figure this one out by yourself. And since the vocalist, Chino, at some points just starts screaming I don't care where, just far really loudly and in an insane way, it kinda sounds like he's entering a complete mental breakdown. I can feel a lot of inspiration on this track from the Smiths' There Is a Light That Never Goes Off. That is also a great song and you should definitively give a check. The lyrics are pretty similar.
Take me out tonight.
And since Deftones is kinda like considered a metal band, this album of course has its heavier sound. That is also very interesting, since despite being released on that new metal era, that for those who don't know and aren't very familiarized, is basically the genre having artists such as Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, Korn, and much more. And having a lot of new metal elements, even such as straight up rapping, but done in an extremely original and innovative way. Like getting straight up what I consider the heaviest song of the album, being really fast, intense, and really aggressive. Head Up. It sounds like Chino is just screaming random syllables really fast, while all the instruments go absolutely crazy. Then things slow down, or at least seem to slow down, while he's making random screeches and noises with the mic that are really weird but go really well on this track. Honorable mention to Lotion, Labia, and Rickets for just going really fucking crazy. Oh, also My Own Summer, like it's their most famous track and also goes hard. But now, going to the end of this album, a good way to finalize this video is talking about MX, that is 37 minutes long, but the reason of that is pretty funny and genius to be honest. MX at first seems to be a pretty heavy track, but in fact as the song progresses, you can see that it's basically getting all of the weird feeling the other tracks had, the personal whispering, the weird atmosphere, that is my favorite part of this album, and just condensing it all into one track. And I mean, the result of that is an extremely uncomfortable track in a good way, having that cinematic effect I talked about earlier, but almost in a scary and eerie way. The song has something that will be incorporated way more later on the other albums by them. There are the electronic elements, which work really well and align in a perfect way with this song. The lyrics once more bring that relationship aspect, but treated in a way more abstract way. And I gotta say, I love this part of Deftones lyrics, the abstract and the multiple interpretations each person can have on their song. Like, it's way more easy to build connections with a song like this because you can just interpret whatever the hell you want according to your life and your thoughts, and at the same time it's just really creative. And then the song ends, and the album ends. If you aren't curious or lazy enough. You see, after this there are fucking like 10 minutes of pure silence, then a random bong hit kicks in, more 10 minutes, and a secret track starts playing. And I mean, this is a great way of hiding a secret track, and at the same time an hilarious way of waking someone up that slept after listening to the song but didn't turn it on. Now talking about this song, well, it's one of the best of the album, and an absolutely perfect way of ending. The moment is almost like a sequel to MX, bringing once more that really tired feeling, but in a way that, almost out of nowhere, the little bit of energy that remains is used to make an intense, at the same time melodic and heavy track, that I don't really know how to describe that feeling. Just know that Demon is a track that I would wait the 20 minutes of pure nothing and bong hits to listen if necessary. So if you feel like, go check it out by yourself and maybe give a chance to this whole album. In conclusion, in 10 or 11 tracks and a really cool album cover, Deftones managed to create a sound and aesthetic so unique and interesting that to this day it's influential, and that includes to myself. Around the 4 is a fucking great album. So yeah, I think this is pretty much what I had to talk about on this video. As I said before, if you like this, please consider giving a like, a comment, subscribing, and blah 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 blah. It will mean a lot to me and will help me to futurely feed my future job. So now, goodbye.